Yo, Descendant, Augiesaint here, and welcome to the channel. Hope you guys are having a fantastic day. We need to talk about the Malevolent. This thing is actually pretty impressive. It is the new Battle Pass weapon. And yes, it is better than Excava, so I am pointing fingers at you, Excava. Step aside, Malevolent is here to claim the day. Now with this thing, as you saw in the intro, we're able to do a massive amount of damage within one activation of our Serena's ultimate. We do end up doing 1.2 billion damage, and I did actually stop shooting, so we could have done more damage. I know most of that is actually Serena doing the heavy lifting, but we are using the weapon to proc with the Soul Blades. And then what happens with those Soul Blades is they actually synergize with Serena's fourth ability, where she does those little fire explosions and stuff with her max HP. The Soul Blades seem to be proccing the explosion as well. That's why it seems to be doing so much crazy damage. The weapon is pretty good by itself, but Serena does take it to the next level. So with that out the way, let's hop straight into the video. First of all, we are going to check out the weapon cores as well as the weapon rolls. We have double firearm attack with toxic attack on the 3 top cores, and we have fire rate on the bottom 2 cores. You could potentially switch out the firearm attack for toxic increase, like another toxic roll, or you could also get another fire rate roll. Totally up to you. I think both of those might be slightly better than the firearm attack, but the more firearm attack, the more toxic we just have by default. As you can see, we have almost 260,000 toxic because it is scaling off of our firearm attack with the mods that we have on the weapon. But you could change it if you want. We have gotten a 7-second kill on Tormentor using this exact weapon with exact mods that I'm going to show you guys and the rolls. So just keep that in mind. It is pretty powerful. Obviously, Serena again is just making it even that much better. And then for the weapon rolls on the bottom, we have weak point, rounds per magazine, toxic, and firearm attack. We're not doing any crit on this weapon because by default it has terrible crit. I think it even has the minimum crit damage before you put on any like crit damage negative mods. So it really does not want crit. That's why we are building it for multi-hit as well as element and just as much firearm attack as possible. Now let's have a look at the mods, and I will leave it over there for you guys for a few seconds so you can screenshot if you wanted to, because I know a lot of people keep saying that in some of my previous videos and comments. There you go. There's your screenshot window. Take it now. Let's talk about it. So we have the general action reaction, rifle reinforcements for the firearm attack up, and we have fire rate obviously for the fire rate increase, expand weapon charge for rounds per magazine, and we have weak point sight as well as have aiming. Just both of these are for weak point damage increase, since we will be going for weak points to actually proc the Soul Blades. And then we also have multi-piercing sight. This is going to be multi-hit damage increase with firearm critical hit negative. Like I said before, the crit on this weapon is terrible, so we're not going for any crit. And then the other multi-trigger one we are using is multi-hit chance over there plus 65% and then negative fire rate. So that's why I say you could potentially go for that fire rate core on top, so you can actually replace this fire rate because you can get up to 20% fire rate on the weapon core. I just wanted to leave the 2 fire rate cores on to show you guys it is still a very capable weapon even without the like 3 fire rate cores, because that is pretty daunting for a lot of people. So both of those new multi-hit mods, and then we do have toxic enhancement and poison priority just for increased toxic damage. And the reason we're on priority is because we don't have to reload when we are playing on Serena. So that is the overall build I would suggest. And then another one that I could suggest you guys is the powered version. See, I don't have that leveled up. I'm just using it as a placeholder to demonstrate to you guys what I would do. Basically, all we did is we changed out have aiming for the payout, and payout basically functions the same as firing fiesta. When you land a weak point hit, your rounds will not be consumed for 3 seconds. So if you do go with the fire rate core route and you actually end up getting more fire rate, I would suggest going with the payout, because every 15 seconds and you can have like a 3-second window of increased fire rate. However, I would actually just go with this version so you can have increased weak point, and then you will have that extra fire rate core to go ahead and counteract the negative fire rate from the multi-trigger rifling. So this is the build that I'm going to stay with, and then I'm going to actually roll this weapon core on the top line. I'm going to change that over to fire rate, as well as getting more fire rate on the bottom 2. As you can see, they are still missing quite a bit of fire rate. So now let's actually just shoot the weapon a little bit, and I'll show you guys how crazy this can get with Serena. Level 260 enemies, and we're going to spawn them in real quick just so you can see the damage that this thing actually does. Actually, let's look at the damage by itself. So go ahead there and shoot. You can see those actually start shooting off to all the enemies. And we are also using the inversion buff, the Soul Blades VR. It's going to increase the cogs that are spawned, and I believe every unique copy of the weapon also increases how many cogs are spawned, or is it how much damage? I think it increases the cogs. Yeah, it increases the damage as well as the bounces, so this can do even more damage. But you see there from 1 magazine we already did 10 million damage. We go ahead and shoot a bunch again, and all of those cogs are jumping everywhere. And like I said at the beginning of the video, what seems to happen on her is when you use your 4 ability, the little procs are actually going off the 4. See, we're at 32 million damage over there already just from 2 magazines, and the ETC damage, I believe that's probably the multi-hit happening. So sometimes your damage can be a bit higher because of your multi-hit. Let's go ahead and replenish everything, reset that. And now I'm going to show you how crazy this gets with Serena. So we're flying up in there, do this, and let's just fly up again and just check this out. Actually, you can mark them as well, so you can get infinite ammo. Watch how your ammo increases the whole time. and the damage is just insane. Look at the ammo either. No damage and all of the explosions are proccing. You can just keep resetting. I'm not going to drop until our buff runs out from Serena, because you can see the little like color on you where it's glowing. See how much damage you're going to get. Okay, there we go. Buff is finished. As you can see there, 935 million. That's a ton of damage. So really fun to use with Serena. I think it's really well made for her as well. So you can go with the like gun mobbing build instead of the boober smash build if you want to. You can go check that out. We have that on the channel. And then as well, just to show you guys quick screenshot and dip, this is the gun build we're using. We do have a video up on the channel of this build as well. So want to check it out, you can do that. There is the screenshot for Serena. Modules running the ascending power one just for increased skill cost, so we can actually fly longer. We can get the bullet supply over there, so we don't have to worry about actually getting any ammo. And then for the reactor, we're just going with cooldown and duration. And then lastly, and then for inversion, we are running the strike point amp, just increasing weak point damage. And then we're using toxic rounds just because we are building the weapon fully into toxic. And obviously we are using the evolutionary cutting mechanism for the increased cogs. And then for the arcade tuning, the paragon board, this is what we're using. We're trying to get as much firearm attack, weak point, and then HP as well to scale the Serena. If you're not going to be playing Serena, you want to drop all these HP nodes and then pick up all these firepower and multi-hit nodes over here. If you are going to be playing Serena, I highly suggest you pick up all this HP, because it's going to get you up to 30k HP, and it's just going to scale your damage even harder with the with the 4 ability of Serena, and then just proccing off the soul blades. But that's going to be it for the video. Hopefully you guys found it helpful. If you did, push up a like and sub the channel. Helps me out so much, and I'll catch you beautiful people on the next one. Augiesaint now.
Run free and dive into the sky. Hear the wind crying out its prayer.